NLWN-TV now brings you the In the Dugout show. A look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. And now, join us in the dugout.
Good afternoon and welcome to today's edition of In the Dugout. Rick Olson here in the NLWN-TV studios, and we're getting ready to bring you all the action of today's doubleheader between the first place Cavaliers and the 1-7 Cadott Red Sox. Now, coming up in this edition of In the Dugout, we'll take a look at today's matchup between the Cavs and the Red Sox. Then we'll get Cavalier manager Ryan Page's perspective on today's game in the Ryan Page Show. Following that, we'll take a quick look around the Chippewa River Baseball League to get some perspective on how today's game fits in overall. Finally, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of today's games from Carson Park in Eau Claire. So it's time to get ready for some baseball action. And we'll do just that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Welcome back to In the Dugout, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of today's doubleheader between the 2-0 Eau Claire Cavaliers and the 1-7 Cadott Red Sox. The Cavaliers have been off for nearly a month following their doubleheader sweep over the Bloomer Woodticks by scores of 10-2 and 7-2 back on April 25th. In that doubleheader, the Cavs were led by respectable pitching and timely hitting. Ben Bergman went the distance on the mound in the first game, giving up only one earned run while striking out 8 Woodtick batters. Leading the way for the Cavaliers at the plate was Mitch Voller, who went 2 for 4 with 2 RBI, scoring 3 times. Cole Timon, Greg Button, and Kendra Ngulo also went 2 for 4 in that game. In the second game, Kendra Ngulo took the mound and worked 5 innings, giving up 1 run on 2 hits while striking out 8. Mitch Voller took care of the final 2 innings in relief, giving up 1 run on 1 hit and striking out 3. At the plate, Voller once again showed the way, going 3 for 4 with 2 RBI and 1 run scored. Cole Timon repeated his 2 for 4 performance from the first game, including a run scored and his second double of the season. On the day, Jalen Williams had an impressive start to the season, going 2 for 7. However, both of those hits went for doubles. Overall, the Cavaliers are hitting .351 so far this season, and the pitching staff has a record of 2-0 with a 1.29 ERA, while holding opposing hitters to a mere 185 batting average. The Red Sox opened the season by splitting a doubleheader with the Beef River Bullfrogs, but since have found wins hard to come by. That includes last weekend's doubleheader loss to the Eau Claire Bears by scores of 7-3 and 5-3. Now, last year, the Cadott Red Sox season, like everyone else's, was thrown for a loop with COVID-19 and the global pandemic. With the CRBL season being canceled, Cadott was forced to play a shortened non-league schedule. The Red Sox were able to play a 15-game schedule. In addition to COVID-19, however, the Red Sox had another major problem handed to them last summer when a tornado caused major damage to the village of Cadott and their home field. With the field having been rebuilt, the Red Sox are ready to play ball. This season, Cadott's roster includes many returning veterans. These include Jake Arneson, Tony Riley, Mike Danielson, Ben Pope, Eric Bourget, Austin Gadel, Casey Shara, Sean Sedlacek, and Bennett Bovee. Now that 2020 non-league season also gave some young players valuable experience. In addition, Dylan Davis, Nelson Wall, and A.J. Schumacher, as well as Caden Thurman will all return to the Red Sox this season and are expected to play prominent roles. Now coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get manager Ryan Page's perspective as we chat with him on the Ryan Page Show. You're tuned to the In the Dugout show on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Time now for the Ryan Page Show, where Cavalier manager Ryan Page gives us his perspective on today's Cavalier action. And now, the Ryan Page Show.
We're talking with Cavalier manager Ryan Page, and before we get into today's action, Ryan, let's take a quick look back about a month ago when you took a skeleton squad up to Bloomer and managed to take 2 away from the Woodticks up there, and a little bit of comment from you about the effort there.
Oh, it was great. All sides of the field. Pitching was great. Ben Bergman threw a complete game in the first game, his first time out. Wasn't expecting that at all, but he's one of those guys that just doesn't like to get pulled. And then Cole Timon gutted it out for us for 14 innings behind the dish. That's very hard on the catcher's knees. And we came out and hit the ball, and through the doubleheader, we only made about 3 errors in the 2 games, so I was very pleased that for the first time out.
It'll be kind of nice to keep that ERA that your pitching staff has right now of about 1.89. That would be kind of nice to keep that intact.
It would be. Still a long season yet, but yeah, that was definitely nice.
Now, it's been about a month since the Cavaliers have played, and that can cause some problems for some teams. Are you concerned about the Cavaliers having any issues with that?
Not at all. I mean, we saw what we could do in the first game out, and that's when we haven't been playing for almost a year and a half. So I'm not concerned about taking 1 month off. Like I said, we've been doing some practices here and there to keep the guys sharp. So I'm not too worried about that.
Now, Ryan, in just a few minutes, the Cavaliers are going to open the 2021 home season against the Cadott Red Sox. The Sox have been struggling a little bit this year, but they're pretty determined to right the ship, so to speak, and get things going in the right direction. What kind of challenges do they present for the Cavaliers?
I've been looking at some of their scores, and they have definitely put up some runs so far this year. So it's definitely going to be a challenge for our pitchers to keep them off the bases, and also our defense to make plays behind our pitchers.
And I noticed that some of the colleges have now ended their seasons. How excited are you to start seeing some of those guys trickle in?
Very excited, very excited. We definitely going to have some more guys here this weekend here for Cadott, and on top of that, once we start playing Cadott, then we start playing about every single week. So just excited to get the season in full strength too.
So some of those guys will be here this weekend?
Yep, they will be.
And now, the Cavaliers have a pretty young roster this year. We talked about this before the Bloomer game, and you've got to rely on your veterans for leadership. And I assume that that's still the case, but how are those collegiate players going to fit in there?
They'll do just fine. Like I said, the veterans will definitely be those guys that everybody can count on. And a lot of our college ball players are also those types of guys, those leadership roles when they were in high school. So they'll fit right in.
Well, Ryan, good luck on today's games. Hopefully the Cavaliers can open the home season with a couple of victories and stay in first place.
That's the goal. Thanks.
You've been tuned to the Ryan Page Show, with Cavalier manager Ryan Page's outlook on today's Cavalier action. Stay tuned. More in the dugout is coming right up.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother and... I am totally a hot person.
Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome back to the In the Dugout show. Let's take a quick look around the Chippewa River Baseball League. An eventful moment took place at Casper Park earlier this month as the first no-hitter of the season was pitched by Chippewa Falls lumberjack Levi Schaller in a 7-inning 1-0 victory over Tilden. That was back on May 2nd. Now, as we look at the CRBL standings, we see the Cavaliers leading the North Division by mere percentage points over the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks and the Tilden Tigers. The Cadott Red Sox are tied with the Jim Falls Sturgeons for 5th place, 4 games out of first. Now in the South Division, the 4-time defending champion Osseo Merchants are leading the way, followed closely by the Whitehall Wolves and the Eau Claire Rivermen. The Cavaliers are looking to continue their successful start to the 2021 season. They're hoping that nearly a month off since that doubleheader victory over the Bloomer Woodticks will not cause too much rust, and that the beginning of the much anticipated arrival of the Cavalier collegiate players will provide just the hope for rust removal. The Red Sox, on the other hand, are hoping to show that they're better than that single win over the Beef River Bullfrogs would indicate. They would like nothing better than to knock off the division-leading Cavaliers. So the stage is set for some exciting Cavalier baseball, and we'll have all the action of both games for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now, in just a moment, I'll be joining my colleague Dan Petschow at Carson Park as we bring you all the action of today's doubleheader between the Cavaliers and the Red Sox. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
You've been watching the In the Dugout show with a look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. This has been a presentation of NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball.
Being prepared is a part of who you are. But it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749. Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball is on the air. NLWN-TV proudly presents today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Help us celebrate 50 years of Cavalier baseball as they battle their way through the Chippewa River Baseball League. And now, out to the ballpark for coverage of today's game.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Greg, come on man, let's put a ride home.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America. I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
And there we go. We now have audio. Yeah, we had everything all ready to go, and now we have audio working. So, once again, this is Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, Gordy Petchow, and Monroe, and Cassie Nelson, bringing you the Cavaliers against the Red Sox. First of 2 today if the weather holds, and I'm sure keeping my fingers crossed that it will. Cavaliers 2-0 on the season, and the Cadott Red Sox are 1-7. And we were just saying, Ben Bergman on the mound for the Cavaliers. He pitched the first game of the doubleheader up in Bloomer. And hopefully we're getting all the kinks worked out of this system. And But anyway, let's go around the infield for the Cavaliers. Defensively behind the plate is Cole Timon. At first base is Anthony Pogodzinski. Over at second base is Cole Lekvin. And the first pitch is grounded to short, scooped there by Pettit, and throw over Petit, and he throws over to first base to Pogodzinski, and in plenty of time for the put out. As we were just saying, Paul Petit is at shortstop, and Cooper Kapanke is at third place. Around the outfield is Mitch Voller. And then we have Jalen Williams in straightaway center. And then Ethan Kelberg over in right. The batter is Zach Merritt for the Cadott Red Sox. You know, Dan, I'm going to find myself saying Boston Red Sox before it's over. Pitch is inside and it gets away from Timon. Rolls back to the backstop. 2 balls, no strikes to Zach Merritt. Bergman in the windup and the 2-0 pitch. Grounded hard down the third base line, but foul. So the count goes to 2-1. Bergman checks the sign. He's in the windup, and the pitch is outside, ball 3. Just missed that outside corner. And the pitch is outside, ball 4. And Dan, this is what we saw up in Bloomer. He struggled a little bit with control early on, and then Dan's fiddling with his stuff over there, and I can
yeah, he's got to watch this guy in first and try to get some strikes.
A.J. Schemenauer is the hitter for the Red Sox. Pitch is inside, ball 1. And pitch is high and inside. Ball 2. Merritt takes a pretty good lead over there at first. Bergman checks the runner. 2-0 pitch. Right down the middle of the plate for a called strike. Bergman into the stretch. The 2-1 pitch is inside, ball 3. You know, he's not missing by much, but he's missing. That's the critical part. And the 3-1 pitch is high, ball 4. So he's put 2 on via 3 passes. It's going to bring up Mike Danielson, the second baseman. Runners at first and second. And first pitch to Danielson is a called strike. And the pitch is blooped out into short right field, and it's going to fall in. And the try for the play at second, and Ball didn't quite get there in time. They were going to try and double off Schemenauer, but now the bases are loaded. The runners had to hold. They didn't know if that ball was going to get caught or not. It was a little too deep for the infield fly rule. And that's going to bring up Austin Gadel. 1 out, bases loaded. Bergman's worked himself into a bit of a jam.
Yeah, let's see if he can get himself out of it.
Look for the play to come to the plate. Yeah. And a foul ball makes the people scatter in the bleachers. No balls, 2 strikes. It's a big pitch right here now for Bergman. He's into the stretch, checks the runner at third. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That was a big out. Oh, they're calling catcher interference on this. Evidently on the swing, he hit the back of the catcher's glove, and all runners advance.
Yeah, he was back in that batter's box pretty far. His right foot was almost on the line.
And the umpires are having a bit of a discussion. And Cavalier manager Ryan Page is out there questioning that. And Page is not very happy with that call.
Yeah, it was a late call, too.
1-1 in. And that's going to bring up Red Sox manager Rick Danielson. He's the first baseman. Base is still loaded. And a called strike over the outside corner. And the pitch is a little bit high. And a grounder stopped at third, but he just knocks it down and the run comes in to score. Kapanke was able to knock the ball down, but wasn't able to get a handle on it and make a play anywhere. So Danielson's at first, Gadel's at second, Mike Danielson is at third. That was Schemenauer that came in to score. Bennett Bovey is the batter. That's 2 in for the Red Sox in the top of the first. First pitch is fouled off the right side. Bergman checks the runner and the pitch. And it's called strike. That one caught the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. And the 0-2 pitch fouled away off the right side again. Bergman checks the runners. All three runners take a lead. That one's coming back to us. Almost. Gordon, did you bring your glove?
No, I couldn't find it, matter of fact. I was just looking here.
Well, I was counting on you to keep us safe up here. You're the guy who played all the baseball, so.
Yeah, it's a real treat to be able to come and be with you guys. I played in about 1956 through about 1960 here.
Pitch is outside for a ball. 1-2 is the count. Bases loaded, 1 out. That's a chopper picked up by Kapanke, throwing over to first, and they got the runner at first. They did allow the run to come in. And that's 2 down.
Although there's been a lot of changes in this many years, one thing that hasn't really changed is the quality of the field that the city has put into this, and the enthusiasm of the crowd and the players. They come to play here, and they're doing a good job.
Willie Zalskowski. Sorry, Willie. He's the pitcher. He's the batter. First pitch is swing and a miss for strike 1. And the 1 pitch. Chopper over to second base. Lekvin takes it, throws it over to Pogodzinski. And finally, we're out of the inning. But Cadott puts 3 on the board. We've played a half inning. And it's the Red Sox 3, and the Cavs are coming to bat. You're watching Cavalier Baseball on NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We have this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
And we're back here at Carson Park. Cavs have dug themselves a bit of a hole here going into the bottom of the first inning. 3-0, Red Sox on top. Little controversy in the top half of the inning there, Dan?
Yeah, it makes the game interesting.
Yeah, the catcher cannot get his glove in the way of the swing of the batter, and that's what the umpire called.
I'm Jenny Garth.
And it cost the Cavs a run.
Yeah, so here's my thing on that, Rick. Can I make a little beef already?
Go for it.
So the batter, his foot was on the line.
Yeah, that's still in the box.
It is.
Yes. Yeah, if it would have been behind the box, the batter would have been out because he would have been out of the batter's box. Well, it would have been a strikeout anyway because it was the 3rd strike.
Sure.
So Willie Zalskowski and their manager, Rick Danielson, said to me when I went down and got the lineups earlier, he said, if you have trouble with Zalskowski, just call him Big Willie.
Big Willie.
And so leading off for the Cavaliers will be catcher number 19, Cole Tynum. And Tynan is currently batting .500 on the season, but that's only 2 games in, so some of these batting averages will be a little bit inflated. He does have 2 doubles on the season so far. 2 doubles in 2 games is not a bad start. Hyman steps into the box. Zoskowski wheels and deals, and it's a little high, ball 1. And the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, popped off the right side, foul ball, and right near the fence. And Danielson got over there, but he wasn't able to make the play right at the fence. One ball, 2 strikes. The windup and the pitch is high and inside, ball 2. Count is all even at 2-2. And the pitch outside all the way back to the backstop. Fills up the count. And the payoff pitch. High pop-up. Shortstop camped under, drifting back, falls over, and the ball falls behind him. Zach Merritt misjudged the high pop-up. It was way up there. That's what they call a rainmaker. We don't need any of those today, but it came down behind Merritt, and all of a sudden now we have Cole Tynan safe at first. I think that's going to go in the book as an E6 here on the shortstop. That's going to bring up Cole Leckman, second baseman. Leckman's batting .429 so far this season. Squares to bunt, and he missed it, but it popped out of the catcher's glove, and Tyman ends up on second base anyway. So they accomplished what they wanted to. They got the runner over to second, Verdi, but that's kind of an unorthodox way to do it. Tyman takes the lead. Swung on short fly ball into center field. Coming in is Sedlacek, and he makes the catch. Run out, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter for the Cavaliers, Tyler Herman. Herman batting .333. He wears 33. Hard ground ball to the third baseman. Throw across the infield and scooped out at first. Schemenauer over to Danielson. 2 down. Tyman still at second. And that's going to bring up Anthony Pogodzinski, first baseman for the Cavaliers. He just came back from college. He didn't go far. He went to school here at Eau Claire. Part of the Blue Gold baseball team. Ground ball to second. Scooped up by Mike Danielson. Flips it over to Rick Danielson. And that's the third out of the inning. So we've got one complete. It's the Cadott Red Sox 3, Cavaliers nothing, and you're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Professional lawn care experts can bring your lawn to its full beauty and appearance. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 715-586-1302. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your lawn the showplace of the neighborhood.
So we're back here at Carson Park. Cavaliers trailing 3-0 as we head into the second inning.
Good little breeze today, Rick.
There's a nice breeze. As long as it's not bringing rain with it, I have no problem with that breeze. Otherwise, it would be sweltering up in here. So for the Cadott Red Sox, they're going to have the numbers 9, 1, and 2 hitters coming up. They put 8 to the plate in the first inning. Cavalier manager Ryan Page was pretty happy to be getting back some of his collegiate players. He doesn't have them all back yet, but he's got a handful of them here. And he's kind of glad to see that.
Yeah, they'll start trickling in now.
Right, most of the colleges, some of them are still playing ball.
Number 27, Peter in the segment.
So, coming up is Caden Bergen. He is the left fielder, and the first pitch is a little bit high, ball 1. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 1-1. So it's Bergman pitching to Bergen. The wind and the pitch outside, ball 2. Bergman into the windup, and the pitch is a called strike. Counts even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And now the count goes full. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the batter is out. 1 down in the second inning. Back to the top of the order. Center fielder Sean Sidlachik. That's a chopper over to the shortstop, Petit, and he did not get the throw there. He got the ball stuck in his glove, it looked like. Had a hard time getting it out, and the throw was a little bit late. I think they'll give him credit for an infield hit on that. Because had the throw been right on target and right at first base, I still think the runner would have beat it. So Zach Merritt is the batter. Line shot almost caught, knocked down by Kapanke, but he couldn't quite make the catch as he was diving to his left. Cooper Kapanke with a good effort, but he just didn't come up with the ball. And Zach Merritt is safe on first. So we have runners at first and second. One out. And it brings up A.J. Schemenauer, the third baseman for the Red Sox. Schemenauer walked in his first appearance. That strike caught the outside corner. Bergman checks the runner. The 0-1 pitch in the dirt. Timon blocks it and it bounces out in front, so there's no advancement by any runners. Bergman in the stretch. And the 1-1 pitch is outside, ball 2.
See where he's holding his bat.
And the 2-1 pitch swung and a missed. Evens the count at 2-2. Bergman's 2-2 pitch. Popped up on the right side, foul territory. Moving over is Pogodzinski, and he makes the catch. 2 down. And that's going to bring up Mike Danielson, second baseman for the Red Sox. 2 down, 2 on. And the first pitch is a called strike. Dan, what did Danielson do his last time up?
I'll get that to you in a second.
And the pitch is soft ground ball to shortstop Petit, and he flips it over to Lekvin for the final out of the inning. Much better inning this time around for Bergman. No one scored, so we now have Cadott still leading the Cavaliers 3-0 after an inning and a half. And you're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
We're back here at Carson Park. Rick Olson, along with Dan Petshaw, Gordy Petshaw, and we have Ann and Cassie doing the technical work off to my right here. Gordy, what were you about to tell me just before we went off?
It seemed like that at the beginning everyone has the jitters, of course, and now they seem like they're turning into a more cohesive ball game here, and viewing the whole scene instead of just one item in the ball game, which I think is good. You got to keep looking across the whole field of where we're going to go, and they're starting to do that.
And yes, and it looked like a difficult inning for the Cavs, that last half inning. That play by Kapanke over there at third base. Had he come up with that ball, it would have been a spectacular play. I mean, that was not something that most people are going to make, and he's probably kicking himself for not making it, and he shouldn't, because it was a really pretty good play.
Good effort there on his part, for sure.
And coming up in this half inning, in fact, we were just talking about Cooper Kapanke. Leading off the bottom of the second is Cooper Kapanke, third baseman for the Cavs. Zawaskowski, his first pitch is swung on, foul tip. Strike one. He's into the stretch, and the 0-1 pitch swung on a miss. Strike two. Zawaskowski into that stretch again, and the pitch. Looped out into short right field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. It's a little Texas leaguer right down the right field line. And Kapanke gets on. That's going to bring up Paul Petit for the Cavs. And Petit is just back from his collegiate playing. First pitch is outside, ball one.
It seems, Rick, that the Cadott pitcher is not throwing a real hard ball, but he's got excellent control.
Yeah, he's putting it where he wants to.
Yep. It's right there, and that's...
Quick toss over to first base. That was really close to a balk, but he did not balk.
No. His style of pitching is holding the Cavaliers back right now a little bit.
Swung on and fouled off the right side. Off the netting.
He's doing good controlling the game.
One ball, one strike. And the 1-1 pitch. Swung on a high chopper back over the pitcher, tossed to the short at second, and Petit beats out the throw on the double play, so he gets on a fielder's choice. Kapanke is double off at second. One out. And Mitch Voller, who had a really good doubleheader up in Bloomer, he's batting .625. He went 5 for 8 up there. Petit takes off, and he's safe. The catcher, Gato, couldn't quite find the handle on the ball. Somebody forgot to tell them they don't put handles on balls. You just got to grab the ball. So Petit on second with one out. Zawaskowski into the stretch and the pitch. A liner out into right center field, and it's going to fall into the gap. Coming around the corner is Petit, and he's going to score, and the Cavs are on the board. Mitch Bauer comes through again. That's going to bring up Ethan Kelberg, the right fielder for the Cavs. And he must have stepped off the rubber. I think he did. I think I saw his foot behind the rubber when he made that. Because normally you can't fake a throw over to first. Quick snap throw back down to first from Gato, and not in time. Cavaliers showing a little movement out there at first, trying to rattle the pitcher who had control of the game.
Yeah, things are picking up here. You can see it.
Bauer takes a pretty good lead. And the pitch. And they're calling that a foul ball. It must have come off the bat. Down into the dirt. No balls and a strike. One out, one in, runner at first. We're in the bottom of the second.
They're keeping a pretty close eye on Valor over there.
Yeah, they are. And the pitch swung on and foul tipped into the glove for strike two. You know, they say the difference between a foul tip into the catcher's glove and a line shot into center field is just a fraction of an inch. And fouls back, straight back into the screen. Count remains, no balls, 2 strikes. Rich Valor takes his lead, the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed strike 3. So Kelberg goes down, that's 2 outs. Brings up Jalen Williams. Now the thing about Jalen Williams is he's batting .286. He went 2 for 7 up in Bloomer, but both of those were for doubles. He's got really good speed, and that's why they've got him batting 9th, actually, because he can be a setup man for the top of the order. Pitch is inside for a ball. Bluff move over to first. Valor got back with no trouble. And the pitch is inside, and Valor takes second base. He picked a good pitch to run on because it was set up on the inside, which makes it a little more difficult for the catcher to come out throwing. And he got a nice jump as well. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jalen Williams. And the pitch is to the backstop, and Mitch Valor is going to be on third base. And the pitch is outside. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. They call this a hitter's pitch. So Wiskowski at the belt, and the pitch is low. And the Cavs have runners on the corners. I think maybe the umpire was expecting that Valor might be trying to steal home because he jumped out of there pretty quick and got himself in position to make a call. But Valor didn't have that in mind. That brings up Cole Timon, who's got a base hit his first time up. Pitch is low. And the pitch is a called strike right at the letters. And the Cavs go ahead and send Jalen Williams down to second base. They scored on that play up in Bloomer. It's one of the most classic plays in baseball. Runners on the corners and send the guy to second. Cole Timon at the plate. The 2-1 pitch is called strike over the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. And the pitch is inside. Full count. And the pitch is low for ball 4. And the bases are loaded. That brings up Cole Leckman. And he pop up out into right center field, and that fell in. Cavaliers get 2, and they lose control of the ball. Red Sox lose control of the ball, and Leckman heads on over to second base. So the Cavs have tied it up, and we still have runners at second and third with 2 outs. It's going to bring up Tyler Herman.
It appears, Rick, that the Cavs are starting to, with their moves and steals, is taking the confidence of this pitcher. If that's their attempt, it seems to be occurring.
Right.
And one little mistake here, and they're ready
And
to
it kind of snowball.
Yep, it snowballs.
We don't want to say that too loud. We almost had that happen up in Bloomer.
Yeah, we had snow.
And the pitch is inside. Ball 1. Counts even at 1-1.
It's early in the game, a lot of things can happen as of yet, but their techniques are on the right track here.
And a 1-1 pitch. Chopper down the third base line, but foul. So Wiskowski looks in for the sign. The 1-2 pitch, a looper out into right field, drifting over and making the catch is Bovee, and that's the end of the inning. But the Cavaliers tie it all up in the bottom of the second, and we are all tied at 3. And you're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Where you off to in such a hurry?
I'm getting out of here. I heard that the family who owns this place just hired Western Wisconsin Animal Damage Control.
No. Not Western Wisconsin Animal Damage Control. Why, the last place they were at, all the animals like us disappeared and were never heard from again.
Right. That's why I'm leaving.
Honey, gather the kids. We've got to go.
Got animal pests? Let Western Wisconsin Animal Damage Control handle your problem. Call them at 715-832-1640. That's Western Wisconsin Animal Damage Control.
And we're back here at Carson Park. Beautiful, historic Carson Park, even on a heavy overcast day. This is a spectacular place to watch baseball. And
we got a great view.
We do. We have an outstanding view, but it is just a really pretty park to be in anyway. And this is such a historic stadium, and all kinds of people who played in the major leagues came through this ballpark. The most notable, of course, is Henry Aaron, but Joe Torre, Bob Uecker, I believe Lou Burdette, Burley Grimes.
Was Johnny Logan playing at that time? I can't remember.
Or did he manage the Braves?
Maybe he managed.
That name sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
Of course, you'd ask that when I don't have the stuff up here.
I didn't even know it was recorded.
It is, but this park has nice dimensions. 319 down the left field line. They did shorten up right field when they put in the party deck out there in right field. It's 302 down the right field line. And I want to say it's 385 in straightaway center, but they took away the sign that used to say what that was. And so I can't guarantee that, but I think it's 385 to straightaway center. But we've seen a lot of outstanding baseball here at Carson Park. Many years of Cavalier baseball. We also get to see the Express play. High schools get to play here. Now the Blue Golds are back playing baseball again. And we head to the top of the third inning. And leading off for the Cadott Red Sox is the catcher, number 25, Austin Gadel.
Austin walked the last time he was up.
So Bergman's first pitch inside, almost took his kneecaps out. Gadel had to do some pretty fancy moving that time to get out of the way.
That's 46 pitches for Bergman right now, Rick.
He really struggled in that first inning. That pitch count really got racked up in that first inning. And the pitch is just a little bit low. That didn't miss by much. 2 balls, no strikes. Bergman's pitch to Gadel. Swung on foul back, and that went off the mask of Timon. He's going to take a second and shake out the cobwebs a little bit. And Timon's no worse for wear. He's back there, ready to roll. So Bergman's ready to deliver the 2-1 pitch. And that's a little bit low. He's not missing by much on those. Three balls, 1 strike. And the pitch is inside for ball 4. That's a second walk of the day to Gadel. Brings up Rick Danielson, first baseman. First pitch is outside for ball 1. And the 1-0 pitch is fouled straight back. That one almost ricocheted back and got the umpire. One ball, 1 strike, 1 on, nobody out. Runner goes, Ground ball to first base. Stabbed there at first. Very nice play by Pogodzinski. Scrambles to his feet and makes the put out at first. Gator was safe at second. But that was a nice lunging play by Pogodzinski to his right. Ended up prone, scrambled back to his feet, and got over to first base in time for the put out. That's going to bring up Bennett Bovey. He's the right fielder. First pitch is chopped foul.
Bennett lined out at his last at bat.
Bergman's pitch is a called strike over the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. To Bovey. Swing and a miss for strike 3. 2 down. Willie Zalaskowski, the pitcher, is at bat. And the first shot is lined down the first base line, and they're going to call that a foul ball.
Yeah.
Must have gone foul just before it went over the bag.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Zalaskowski kind of gets a break on that because otherwise that was an out. No balls, 1 strike. Pitch is outside. Evens the count up at 1-1. Gadel takes his lead. Cavaliers aren't really holding him on. Bergman's 1-1 pitch is fouled back.
There's a gap out there in right field. If he can manage to pull his batting stance over just a shade more to get it there. But there is quite a hole between the out of bounds line. There it goes.
And ground ball over to Pogodzinski, who takes it himself over to first base, and that's the inning.
Had good intentions there, just didn't get it up in the air.
No runs, and the score remains the Cadott Red Sox 3, Cavaliers 3, and you're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ball game. Join us as we help celebrate the memory of Eau Claire sports icon Billy Noss when the Cavaliers take on the Eau Claire Bears in the Billy Noss Memorial Game on Monday, May 31st. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 10:40 a.m. That's the Billy Noss Memorial Game on Monday, May 31st on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If your estate is
And
not
we're back
looking
here at Carson Park, heading into the bottom of the 3rd inning. Cavaliers and Red Sox all knotted up at 3. This is what Ryan Page was concerned about when talking in the Ryan Page show, that the Red Sox do have the ability to put up some runs, and they've done that all season so far. They haven't necessarily held other teams down, but they've put up plenty of runs, and we'll have to see if the Cavaliers can make the other half of that equation work for them.
Big Willie only has 36 pitches so far.
Okay. Anthony Pogodzinski will be leading off for the Cavaliers. I think we're getting a little bit of mist out there. I'm seeing a few drops on some of our equipment.
Yeah, there's a little bit coming, but it isn't as bad as they're going to say it. I don't think it's total.
Knock on wood here. Or Formica or whatever it is.
Yeah, didn't I do that before too, Rick?
Yeah, that was...
It's not going to snow.
Yeah. In fact, Gordy, let's say knock on wood, so knock on his head a little bit, will you?
There we go.
And don't forget, next Cavalier game that we have coming up for you is on Memorial Day. And it's the Billy Noss Memorial Game, and the Cavs are taking on the Eau Claire Bears. And we'll have that one. It'll actually be Memorial Day morning. Game time is at 11 o'clock, so our pregame show in the dugout show will start at 10:40. Okay, Anthony Pogodzinski steps in. Swing and a miss for strike one.
I think you got a slight curve on that ball.
So Wiskowski on the mound. He works from the stretch and pitches over the inside corner for a called strike. I think the count is 0-2, isn't it, Dan?
It's 0-2.
Yeah, the scoreboard has it at 1-1, but that pitch is outside, so now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, the scoreboard made up for it there. And the 1-2 pitch. Inside. No, they got him. Caught him in the tricep area of his right arm. And so Pogodzinski.
That never feels good.
He's off it, but notice he did not rub it.
That's right.
Cooper Kapanke is up to bat. Kapanke hit that little Texas leaguer.
Yeah, he had a single last.
Yeah, out there in right field. High fly ball in the infield. Being called there, and the catch made by Mike Danielson. That'll bring up Paul Petit. Petit steps in and takes the first pitch off the back of his shoulder. That's 2 hit batters this inning. So Pogodzinski is on second, Petit's on first. Both of them took one for the team. And Gator is going out to have a little talk with Zarskowski. That looked to me like a breaking ball that didn't break.
Right, yeah. Yeah, trying to come around.
That was supposed to be one of the big benders that comes down, and it just didn't do it. So that brings up Mitch Bowler, the left fielder. He's 1 for 1 today. Runners at first and second. First pitch is a ball. Nice shot out into left field, and it gets past the left fielder, rolling over into the corner. Cavs have 1 run in. Second run in, the ball is going to be declared dead because it went under the fence. And they're probably going to make him go back to second. He's going to have to go back to second base, which is also going to mean that the runner who was at first is going to have to go back to third, so they're not going to get both runs. Which is really too bad because he had rounded third and was well towards home before that ball went under the fence. But it did. But that was a nice shot that time by Bauer. Brings up Ethan Kjellberg. Runners at second and third. The runner at third base is Petit. Ethan Kjellberg, the right fielder. And the first pitch. A little low. Ball 1. So Wiskowski kind of being timed now by the Cavs. And the pitch is inside. Kind of got away from Galen a little bit, but he kept it close to him, keeping Petit from scoring. 2 balls, no strikes. So Wiskowski's pitch. Line shot into left field. That'll score 1. And Bauer checks in at third. So Kjellberg singles into left field. And that's going to bring up center fielder Jalen Williams.
Jalen walked the last time he was at bat.
Well, they don't like to do that because he's got so much speed out there on the bases. You don't want to be walking him if you can avoid it. Swing and a miss by Williams, strike 1.
That's a big swing there.
Yeah, if he hits the ball, he's probably going to check in at second base. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And the 0-2 pitch. Line down the left field line, foul. It's off the netting in what becomes the play area when the Express are here. And they have the inflatables down there. Pitch is high, ball 1.
He's going to get that one right. Right now, but
well, it seems to be the trend this inning. So Wiskowski into the stretch. And the 1-2 pitch is outside. Evens the count up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch, high pop foul. Back behind the grandstand. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch is high. Full count. 1 out. And the payoff pitch is inside, ball 4. So the bases are loaded.
Only 1 out. Little sack fly.
That's the second walk today for Jalen Williams. That brings up Timon. He's 1 for 1 with a walk also. And Zawaskowski takes a look, and in comes the pitch, and it's inside for a ball. Now Gordy, he's really starting to miss. He's having some real trouble finding the plate.
I see that.
He's up to
the plan is coming together, I think, for the Cavaliers.
And the 1-0 pitch. Line shot to the shortstop, flip over to second for one, the first base, in time for the double play, 6-4-3 double play. It was actually very nicely turned by the Cadott Red Sox, but the Cavaliers pick up 2 in the bottom of the third to make the score. Cavs 5 and the Red Sox 3. Your turn to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
And we're back here at Carson Park. Rick Olson, Dan Petchow, Gordy Petchow, and Monroe on the computer working things out here for us, and Cassie Nelson working the camera for us.
Seeing that Glenn St. Arnold's name is a Cavalier founder, more or less, it's an honor being here today because I trained under him years ago, and as I see these batters, their stances and their positions that they're doing brings back fond memories of when before it was called the Cavaliers, how that baseball has come around in Eau Claire in a more organized manner, contributing to Glenn St. Arnold.
Absolutely, and very appropriate since this is the celebration of the 50th anniversary of the Cavaliers this year. 50 years ago, can you believe that?
No, I can't.
I do remember when they started, and that shows my age, and I was very tiny at the time. I had to have been. Like, I think my mother still had me in her arms at the time. Well, maybe not, but...
But baseball was his game, and I always had problem hitting until he took me aside one day and showed me some fundamentals, and that turned my games around and helped me pitch a lot. And they've always been strong as a baseball squad here, and I think a lot of this goes back to you. Maybe they don't recognize the name anymore, some of the younger people, but Glenn St. Arnold did a lot. He made baseball a fun game to begin with.
Caden Bergen is up for the Red Sox. Swing and a miss. Strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bergen. I believe did he walk his first time up, Dan?
He struck out swinging.
Oh, okay. I just didn't mark it down. Two balls and a strike. And the 2-1 pitch. Ground ball over to first base. And tosses over to Bergman covering. Pogodzinski fields it. Makes the flip to Bergman. In time for the putout. That's going to go back to the top of the order to Sean Sedlacek. Sedlacek is 1 for 2. And first pitch is a little bit low. That had to be what he called it, because it looked to me like it cut the plate right in half. And the 1-0 pitch. And again, those have got to be low, because we have a pretty nice view from here of the plate. Two balls, no strikes, and the 2-0 pitch is fouled back toward the press box, off to our left a little bit, or to our right.
It appears right now Cavaliers pitcher is on the jitters past him and is doing a lot of control work here.
Yeah, they say if you're going to miss low like he was doing. Of course, then as soon as we say that, he throws them way outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. And the pitch is a little high. Gordy, we're going to get upset if you say things like that anymore.
I think so.
That brings up Zach Merritt. Merritt is 1 for 1 and a walk. 1 out, 1 on. We're in the top of the 4th. And the pitch is just inside, ball 1.
That's 70 for him, Rick. 70 pitches.
Okay. Well, we're in the 4th inning, so. And a strike call over the outside corner. One ball, 1 strike. And the 1-1 pitch. Line shot out into right center field. That's going to split the gap and roll nearly to the warning track. And he's going to check in at second base is Merritt, and Sedlacek is at third. That's going to bring up A.J. Schemenauer. Runners at second and third with 1 out. Bergman's first pitch is a called strike. Right at the letters. And a chopper foul down the first baseline. First base coach Nate Stone scooped it up. Bergman into the stretch. And the pitch. Again, foul ball. Down the right field line and out of play. And the 0-2 pitch is outside for ball 1.
I used to before he showed me how to bat. See it once is completely over to your left. And see it then into the bat. That's it.
And a scoop at the shortstop position. Petit throws it over to Pagodzinski to get the put out at first. A run does score. Sedlacek came in to score. And Barrett moves over to third. And the score is now 5-4 Cavaliers. And that brings up Mike Danielson, the second baseman, with 2 outs. First pitch, called strike. Little tailing movement on that ball that time. Bergman's pitch. Chop back toward the mound. Bergman barehands it. Makes the throw over to first in time for the putout. Nice fielding play by Ben Bergman that time for the Cavaliers. The Red Sox pick up a run and makes the new score. Cavaliers 5 and the Cadott Red Sox 4. We've played 3.5 innings, and you're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Tune into NLWN-TV on Monday, June 14th as we bring you another exciting equestrian event. A WSCA-sanctioned game show from the Northwest Saddle Club Arena in North Branch, Minnesota. This event will be recorded on Saturday, June 12th. Our coverage will begin at 7 p.m. on Monday the 14th. NWLN-TV is your home for equestrian events in Wisconsin and Minnesota.
Now we're back here at Carson Park, where the Cavaliers have a 5-4 lead over the Red Sox. Bottom of the 4th inning coming up. And Cole Lekvin, I believe, is going to be leading off for the Cavaliers. He'll be followed by Tyler Herman and Anthony Pogodzinski. Zawiskowski still on the mound for the Red Sox. And where's his pitch count at, Dan?
He's only at 57.
57?
57.
Well, I remember up at Bloomer, Ben Bergman for the Cavs threw 132 pitches in that game.
Yeah, he can go deep.
Yeah, he can. And the pitch is outside to Lekvin for ball 1. Lekvin, the second baseman for the Cavs. And a chop foul down the third baseline. One ball, one strike. Lekvin with an open stance. And a pop foul down the right field line, just out of play. Now, Gordy, I would assume that what I've seemed to notice is when they bat with that open a stance, that they do that because your first step naturally is then back toward the pitcher. So you don't end up stepping in the bucket. It keeps you from stepping in the bucket, as they like to say.
Well, that's probably true, but I just noticed that if you pick your position and bring that leg back like this, what he's going to probably be doing now, you're going to get less power more towards the end of the bat, which will kick it off to the...
Okay. It's a way to hit the opposite way.
Right. The full power is if you step straight ahead into the bat and get your stance firm.
Okay, so for those of you watching, if you can see how open his stance is, see what he does with that step. And it's a 3-2 count now to Leckman. And he draws the walk. That'll bring up Tyler Herman, the designated hitter. And the pitch is in the dirt. And so Leckman checks in at second base. So what did Herman do last time up?
1 second.
Caught Dan in the middle of something there.
It did.
And the pitch is high.
Fly out.
Okay.
That's the bat.
It was 0 for 1 with a walk. And a fly ball into right center field. Right fielder moves over, makes the catch. But tagging and moving up is Leckman to third base. Bovee made the catch out in the right field, and Leckman keeping a good eye on it. Tagged and headed to third. So with one out, Cavs have a runner at third. That'll bring up Anthony Pogodzinski, first baseman. And the first foul is shot back into the screen. No balls and a strike. The right side of the infield is shifted over to the right. And a pop foul on the left side. No balls, 2 strikes to Pogodzinski. And a line shot caught by Merritt. Leckman scampers back to third base. And it's going to bring up Cooper Kapanke. Kapanke just got done playing his first year of baseball for Winona State. Just showed up in camp this week.
Cooper had a fly out the last time at bat.
Swing and a miss, strike one. We have 2 outs, runner on third. In the person of Cole Leckman. And the pitch. Fly ball. Danielson underneath it. That was Rick Danielson, makes the catch for the third out of the inning. So the Cavaliers threaten but don't score, and the score remains Cavaliers 5 and the Cadott Red Sox 4. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If your estate is not looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants Landscape Design and Construction Team bring your estate up to snuff. Their professional experts can design and install retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 715-586-1302. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
And we're back here at Carson Park. 4 innings in the book. Cavaliers on top, 5-4. In a day where the breeze is picking up and the rain is probably not that far away. A little coolness in that breeze too. But after as warm as it was yesterday, that kind of feels good right now. Taking a look at the radar, the rain is still not here yet. It doesn't look like it's going to be an all-day rain. I think we're going to get some baseball in today beyond this game. I think we'll get the second game in. We may have a rain delay in there somewhere, but I do think we'll get it. New pitcher on the mound for the Cavaliers. And it's Kendall Bulow, who we saw pitch in Bloomer as well. So, Bergman goes 4 innings, gave up 4 runs. He is, well, no, I don't think so. I think you have to go 5 to be the pitcher record, even in a 7-inning game. Fly ball into short right field. Back there to make the catch is Lekvin. Cole Lekvin making the play. 1 down.
Ben ended up with 70 pitches, 44 strikes, and 34 balls.
70 pitches, 44 strikes, 34 balls. Okay. Did it change his? Did it show his ERA?
It doesn't.
Didn't say how many of those runs were earned.
No.
Okay.
Earned runs 4.
Okay, so all 4 runs were earned. Well, his earned run average is going to go up a little from the 1.29 that he came into the game with then. Foul ball just off the facing of the press box off to our left.
It sounded like it hit a window.
It hit the siding, but it did sound like it hit the window. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a called 3rd strike to Rick Danielson, and he goes down. That's 2 outs. That's going to bring up Bennett Bovey, the right fielder. Chopper right behind the plate. Strike 1. And a chopper over to 3rd. Kapanke picks it up, makes the throw to first in time, and we have a 1-2-3 inning. That's the first 1-2-3 inning for the Cavaliers. So we've played 4.5, and the Cavaliers are in the lead by a score of 5-4 over the Cadott Red Sox. And you are tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
And we're back here at Carson Park, where the Cavaliers have a 5-4 lead as we go into the bottom of the 5th inning. And Will Zoskowski still on the mound for the Cadott Red Sox. And I believe we have Paul Petit going to be leading off for the Cavs. What's that? Oh, yes, he took one for the team, didn't he?
Again, 3-8-9-4-9. It's 100
And over a day that's as dreary looking and rain threatening as it is today, there's some people here today, and I'm kind of glad to see that.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty good crowd underneath us.
It does. Paul Petit, shortstop for the Cavs. So Oskowski pitches from the stretch, and the first pitch is outside for ball 1. Outfield pretty much straight away, as is the infield. And that pitch goes behind Petit. Almost got Petit in the patoot. Swing and a miss for strike 1. The ladies over to my right here are having hysterics over that last line.
Such a grandpa.
The 2-1 pitch fouled back into the screen. Two balls, 2 strikes. And Petit pops one straight up behind the plate, and it's coming back close to the screen, and it's off the netting. Foul ball. That was, thank goodness it was as high as it was, because that was heading straight back this way. And Cassie were ready to duck.
Yeah, don't fly like that. You guys were both under the table.
And then the PA guy comes over and gives us grief here. The 2-2 pitch is outside, ball 3. And this one's fouled back.
A little late.
Yeah, that's how you hang tough when the pitcher gives you something you really don't like. If you can just foul it off, you live another day. The payoff pitch is low for ball 4, and Petit draws a walk. That brings up Mitch Bauer. He hit a ground rule double his last time up down into the left field corner that rolled under the fence. Actually, kind of rolled under the gate that's down in that corner. So Skowski steps off the rubber when he does that move to first, and the throw is a little bit outside for ball, and down to second goes Petit.
Yeah, good jump there by Petit.
Yeah, he had a real nice jump. And it's a strike called. I take it back, that first pitch was a called strike. It's no balls, 2 strikes. Pitch is outside. 1-2.
Willie hit the 80 mark for pitches.
And foul down the right field line, out of play. Over in that fan deck area. And a line shot into center field. That's going to score Petit. And Voller checks in at first base. Some clutch hitting by Mitch Voller.
Yeah, good jump there by Petit.
Voller's got a couple hits today and a couple RBI. Ethan Kelberg is up for the Cavaliers, right fielder. He's 1 for 2. Pitch is a little bit low, and Voller slides into second base safely. So Skowski at the stretch, and the pitch is high and inside, and it gets away from Gadel, and Voller heads over to third. Voller at third, nobody out. 1-0 pitch coming up. And the pitch is high. Is it 3-0?
3-0.
Oh, now they have it up there. And fouled back towards the press box again. That was off to our right, though. And the pitch. Kelvin lines it down the third baseline, but it went foul. Three balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Mitch Fowler on third. Infield playing in. Line shot down that third base line again. He's pulling it hard down that third base line. Count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. So Kelberg draws the walk. And that's going to bring up Jalen Williams with runners on the corner, and we have a trip to the mound happening. Looks like we're going to get a pitching change, possibly. And that's what we're going to have. It looks like Schemenauer is going to come in and pitch. And Rick Danielson is going to go over and play third base. And Zaraskowski is going to go to first base. And actually, while we have this bit of a timeout, we'll take a pause. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
And we're back here at Carson Park. Rick Olson, along with Dan Petchow. Gordy Petchow is with us today. Ann Monroe running the computer and occasionally the camera. And Cassie Nelson also running the camera. And the Red Sox have just made a pitching change. And Dan, what was his pitch count?
Ooh, I gotta go back.
To Zaraskowski. Willie Zaraskowski came out. We brought A.J. Schemenauer in the pitch. Zaraskowski went over to first. Rick Danielson went over to third, which is where Schemenauer came in from.
It'll take me a minute here to find it. Here we go. He ended up with 87 pitches, 39 balls, and 48 strikes.
And how many of the runs were earned of the 6 that the Cavs have?
6.
All 6 were earned, and he's also charged with the runner on third. Which is Mitch Voller. And the first pitch to Williams is a called strike. And next pitch is just outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a swing and a miss, strike 2. And the pitch goes back to the backstop. In comes Bauer to score. Kelberg moves over to second.
That girl.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2 pitch. In the dirt. Ball 3. Still nobody out. Cavs on top, 7-4. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. And it looks like Gator maybe took that one probably where he didn't want to. Then it looks like he's up and going to shake it off. As Austin Gator will tell you, to be a catcher, you got to be pretty tough.
Yes, you do.
You got a lot of padding there, but doesn't cover everything.
No, it doesn't.
And that one goes flying past Gator for ball 4, but it also allowed Kjellberg to go over to third. So the Cavs have runners at the corners with nobody out. Already 2 runs in this inning. And looking to add some more. Back to the top of the order, Cole Tyman is up. He's 1 for 1 with a walk also. That's the 3rd walk for Jalen Williams today. Pitch is outside to Tyman for ball 1. Schemenauer into the stretch. And the pitch outside, back to the backstop, and in comes a run to score for the Cavaliers. And that's Kjellberg. And that'll move Jalen Williams over to second. Schemenauer really struggling finding the plate. Two balls, no strikes. And the pitch is inside. Or check that, it was a called strike over the inside corner. When a pitcher's struggling that much, sometimes the plate gets a little bigger. 2 balls and a strike. And a called strike over the outside corner. Evens count up at 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Fly ball into center field, shallow center field, coming in hard is Sedlacek, and he dropped the ball. That's going to be an error on the center fielder, E8, and it's also going to move Jalen Williams over to third base, as Tyman will end up on first, and that brings up Cole Luckman. Cavaliers have hung another crooked number up on the board. And the pitch is outside. Gordon, he's not even close.
Yeah, it's a little tight right now, I think. I think it's just a little tight yet.
I think you're right.
Still has to settle in.
There's a pitch over the inside corner. And the pitch is a called strike right down the middle of the plate that time. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Lekvin. Nobody out. Cavaliers have runners on the corners. And the 1-2 pitch bounces. That's one of those 60-foot fastballs.
That's right.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Schemenauer's 2-2 pitch. Just outside. Count is full.
Need one of those change-up pitches right in the end here.
Schemenauer into the stretch, and the pitch. Fly ball out into center field. This should score a run. Sedlacek made the catch, and the throw coming into the plate, but it's up the line, and in to score is Jalen Williams. So a sacrifice fly for Cole Leckman. And that'll bring up Tyler Herman. We still have Timon on first. And the pitch is a little low.
Little change up at the beginning there.
Pitch is outside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. 1 out. A.J. Schemenauer's pitch. Caught the outside corner that time. 2 balls and a strike. Timon takes his lead. Pitch is fouled off out on the right side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Pogodzinski on deck for the Cavaliers. And the pitch is in the dirt. That fills up the count. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And the payoff pitch, and that got him in the shoulder. That's the 3rd Cavalier batter to get hit by a pitch today. That brings up Anthony Pogodzinski. He's one of those 3. Oh, we have a pinch hitter for the Cavaliers. Tanner Halverson is in for Pogodzinski. So the first pitch to Halverson. High pop up into right field. Moving over is Mike Danielson, and he makes the catch. Runner tags throw over to 3rd, but that long wet grass just kills the ball. It was actually a pretty good throw. It just didn't have a chance of getting there. And Timon is on 3rd. Cooper Kapanke is up. Herman on first. Timon on 3rd. 2 outs now. And the first pitch to Kapanke, chopped down the 3rd baseline, but it was foul. No balls and a strike. And the pitch. It gets away from Gato and down to second base goes Herman. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Panky's 1 for 1 today. The 1-2 pitch. And that got him in the thigh. That's hit batter number 4 for the Cavaliers. And we have another. Jackson Vance is going to play hit for Paul Petit.
Number 5, Jackson Vance.
And the first pitch to Vance is outside for ball 1. Base is loaded. The pitch is outside, ball 2. Schemenauer into the stretch. He's at the belt, and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Pitch is outside. On deck is Xavier Benbinster for the Cavs if he gets a chance. Short little blooper over to second baseman Mike Danielson, who makes the catch for the third out of the inning. But the Cavaliers put up a big number. They got 4 this time around. So we've played 5 innings, and it's the Cavaliers 9 and the Cadott Red Sox 4. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
Now we're back here at Carson Park. Rick Olson here, along with Dan Petchow, along with Gordy Petchow.
Just to reminisce a little bit, as I look at it, about the right center field brings back memories of when we had baseball clinics with the minor league players that were here. And I spent time out in right field with the pitchers, and that brings back fun memories that goes way back into Eau Claire.
Yeah, because you got the picture, didn't you?
Yeah, and they taught me, and I ended up pitching the All-Star game here back in about 1958. It seems like a I'm really an old relic, but I'm still going, but not playing baseball anymore.
Yeah, but you're still watching it.
I still watch it. Bring back fond memories seeing the whole field. It was such a treat to be on such a great field here.
At the bottom of 6. The third baseman,
Okay, we go to the top of the 6th inning. And leading off is now the first baseman, Willie Zarskowski. And Willie chops it down first baseline foul. And pitches in the dirt. Kendra Angulo on the mound for the Cavaliers in relief of Ben Bergman. And a ground ball to first base. And taking it himself is Tanner Halverson. So that's going to bring up a pinch hitter for the Red Sox, Nate Stone. And pitches inside for a ball. Looking at some of the changes in the Cavaliers defensively. Foul ball back into the net. Jackson Vance is now playing at shortstop. And Halverson's at first. And the pitch to Stone is fouled off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch to Stone, swung and a miss, strike 3. That's going to take us back to the top of the order. Sean Sedlacek, the center fielder for the Red Sox. And pitches outside for ball 1. And a 1-0 pitch is in the dirt for ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. Cavs up on top, 9-4 as we're in the 6th inning. And Pitch is inside. And the pitch. High fly ball. Right out to first base, and the catch is made by Halverson. 1-2-3 inning for Gulo. So we've played 5.5, and the score, Cavaliers 9, Red Sox 4. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball in the Northern Lake Broadcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
150 over 90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Lowering them could save you from having a stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.
And we're back here at Carson Park, heading into the bottom of the 6th inning. Cavs on top, 9-4. We've got a whole other ball game coming up for you after this one's over. We have some good in-between game entertainment for you, including Cavalier Profile. And throw down to second. There we go. So stepping up for the Cavaliers. Xavier Bambister is coming up. And he follows it back. So the count is 1 ball, 1 strike to Bambister. Ryan Page doing a good job of getting all his players into the game today. At least all of them that are here. And the pitch is outside. 3 balls and a strike. And that pitch is outside. Evidently now it's 3 balls and a strike. I was looking at the scoreboard.
Yeah, I was too.
And that one's a little bit low, gets past the catcher, and down to first base goes Bambenster. Schemenauer takes himself out. He's going to go over and play first. And that's going to put number 22 on the mound. That's Brett Bovey. And Schemenauer is going out to second base. And I'm trying to catch the number of the guy who's now playing first base. That might still be Zalaskowski. And of course we have a new right fielder too, because Bodie can't play both. Yeah, the right fielder is Mike Danielson. So I think we've got it figured out now. Mike Danielson out there in right field. Schemenauer went over to second base, and now pitching is Bovey. Bennett Bovey. And stepping in for the Cavaliers is Greg Button. He's batting for Kelberg. And the first pitch is a ball. And the 1-0 pitch is just a little bit low. Ball 2. And the pitch is outside, and quick throw back down to first, and back in easily is Bembenster. Three and 0's the count to Button. And the pitch got the outside corner for a strike. Button was taking all the way on that one. And the pitch, chopper over to first base. Picked up there and by Danielson, and he makes the put out. So Danielson is over there at first base. It looks like Zolakowski, the guy who started this for the Red Sox on the mound, is playing third base now. So 1 out, runner on second. Jalen Williams is up. So far today, he's walked 3 times. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Strike one. Bovey's pitch, inside. One ball, two strikes. Swing and a miss, strike. Well, in fact, it was foul tip, but into the glove of the catcher, and so Williams goes down on a strikeout. That brings up Cole Timon back to the top of the order for the Cavaliers. 2 outs. Ben Binster on second for the Cavs. Pitch is outside, ball one. And that pitch is over the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch is high and inside. Two balls and a strike. And time is called. Now Timon steps back in. Bovey at the stretch. Swing and a miss. Strike two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Cavs up by 5. Bottom of the 6th inning. And we'll have a blooper out into short right field, and it was caught there by Schemenauer, and that'll be it for the Cavaliers in the 6th. So we've completed 6 innings. It's the Cavaliers 9, Red Sox 4, and you're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here.
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to team-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
I'm ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
And we're back here at Carson Park, heading into the 7th inning. In this doubleheader, 2 7-inning games today, Cavaliers on top this time around by a score of 9-4. Coming up after this game, we'll have an edition of Talkin' Baseball with Ryan Page coming up. And
they're playing our song, Rick.
And a little bit of Sweet Caroline going on down in the stands. Last chance at bat for the Red Sox. And they will lead off with Zach Merritt.
They will be batting the seventh for the Red Sox. Red Sox, Zach Merritt.
Zach singled the last time at bat.
What was that, Dan?
Zach had a single the last time at bat.
And of course, Dan will have a summary of all the stuff that happened in this game at the end of the game during Talking Baseball. And the pitch is high and inside, ball one. Kenyon Gulo on the mound still for the Cavaliers. Working his third inning of relief. And ball gets fouled back, out of play.
That ball back to Kenyon Schultz. Walk in and trying to be more happy to assist you on the Oakland Cavaliers fan.
And we have a foul ball into the fan deck area. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Merritt steps into the box. Gulo's pitch is a little bit low, ball 2. Wait, 63 feet 6 inches, right? That one went about 63 feet flat.
That's it.
And here comes the next pitch. Fouled off on the right side. Gulo's 2-2 pitch. Grounded out to second. Scooped up there and over to first in time for the putout. Lekvin makes the play over to Halverson. 1 away. And that's going to bring up A.J. Schemenauer, who is now playing second base, I believe. And pitches outside. And we have a called strike, so it's 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. A wheel in the deal, foul ball, just off to our right.
If we return those foul balls to the serious and we get a second for 1 ball off, I don't have to see the standing. You have to choose to bring those balls back to the serious.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and the pitch is just outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch is inside. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the windup and the payoff pitch is high and away, ball 4. And Schemenauer walks. That's going to bring up Mike Danielson. Danielson's now the right fielder.
Mike Danielson.
And the pitch is high, but it was not too high. Called strike. At the letters. That's how we'll call it. No balls and a strike to Danielson. Here's the pitch. That one's outside. Kendra and Guru trying to finish things up. Pitch is high. Ball 2. And the pitch is a pop-up out into short right field. Back there making the play is Cole Rickman. 2 outs. Should be Austin Gator. Last chance at bat here for the Red Sox. 2 down, 1 run first. And a pop into foul territory into the bleachers. Out of play.
Hey, he didn't drop his beer either.
There's got to be something good for that. We don't want to waste a perfectly good beer catching a foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch is outside, ball 2. So Gato fouls it back. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Gulu into the stretch and the pitch. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Shemino will be off on the pitch. He'll take off. Shemino goes and called. 3rd strike. Austin Gator goes down looking, and the Cavaliers have come away victorious. Kendra Guru closes it out for the Cavs, relieving Ben Bergman, and the Cavaliers come away with a 9-4 victory over the Cadott Red Sox in Game 1. We got Game 2 coming up in a little while, but coming up next we'll have some talking baseball, and that's coming up in just a minute. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ball game. Join us as we help celebrate the memory of Eau Claire sports icon Billy Noss when the Cavaliers take on the Eau Claire Bears in the Billy Noss Memorial Game on Monday, May 31st. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 10:40 a.m. That's the Billy Noss Memorial Game on Monday, May 31st on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. You You've been watching NLWN-TV's presentation of Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball live on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Talkin' Baseball, with a look back at today's game.
Hey!
Okay. If you love me enough to tolerate my perfect little pets and all their glorious dander, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749. Time now for Talkin' Baseball with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. And now, back out to the ballpark.
Get the first inning.
We're back here at Carson Park. We're up in the press box, and I guess Cassie is going to get pictures of us. We got Ryan Page up here, and hey! You were worried about this when we talked a little bit earlier in the Ryan Page show. You said that, hey, this Cadott team can put some runs up, and all of a sudden, out of the chute, here they put 3 on you in the first inning, but then things kind of settled down.
Yeah, they did. Bergman had some control early on, but he was able to find it and get out of the first without too much damage done. And then after that, he was just fine.
Yeah, and you could just see it. Come out there the second inning, and it was a whole different pitcher that was out there on the mound. And again, you guys did some real clutch hitting, some good 2-out hitting, and
yeah, we did. Mitch Voller had a great game at the Dash today. I think he had 2 or 3 hits, including a double down the line. So we didn't get as many hits as what I thought that we would, but still, you can complain about a win.
And then Jalen Williams. He finds a way to get on base. I mean, yes. He drew 3 walks today, but he finds a way.
Yep, and like I said, at this stage in the game, any way you can get on is a good thing.
Yeah, and so now you've got game 2 coming up. Who's going to throw that one?
That's going to be Jackson Vance.
Okay, and any other major lineup changes that we're looking for?
No, there won't be a whole lot. Just for the most part, the defense is going to stay the same. So we're going to have Porgo come in and catch for us and give Timon a break, and Timon's going to DH. So we got some guys moving around, but the initial starts are about it. So
okay, well, go out and win another one, and we'll talk to you after game 2.
Sounds good.
And nice job in holding the weather off.
so far, so good. Happy to play ball.
All right. Ryan Page, thank you for joining us, and we've got more Talkin' Baseball, and disappeared on me here. Right after this timeout, we'll be back with more right after this.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Okay, we'll try it again. We're back here talking baseball, and let's send it over to Dan. What do you got for this game?
Yeah, some of the highlights that I noticed, Coach Page was talking about it. Mitch Fowler had a big game. He went 3 for 3. He scored twice, single twice, stole base. Actually, he scored 3 times. And also, Cole Timon had a good game. He went 2 for 4, along with Cole Ekvin, Cooper Kapanke, Greg Button. And Bergman did a good job in the first 4 innings there, staying together for the Cavs, held them in there, and then the Cavaliers offense kind of took over after the 4th inning and put the game away.
Okay, and I'll tell you what, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for Talking Baseball today. We have Game 2 coming up in just a little bit, and we have Cavalier Profile coming up with Between Game Entertainment. That's all coming up right after this. You're tuned to Talking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been watching Talkin' Baseball, a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. This has been a production of NLWN-TV.